everyone, and welcome back to another day of Vlogmas. Today is going to be an extremely busy day for me, but I think I can go ahead and get everything done. I took the liberty of making my list so that I can commit to it. I've got to label some more sugar scrubs. I need to make candles and wax melts because I have an event coming up this weekend. I need to update my inventory and my website, and I also need to get to editing some videos. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Hopefully I can get it all done. But first, my coffee is a little bit cold, so I'm gonna go downstairs and warm that up. On the list is labeling these foaming sugar scrubs, and these are my miniature ones in the 2-ounce jars. I already labeled the front, but I've got to place the ingredient label on the back. Changed my mind about making Christmas candles this season. One, it's kind of late in the game. Got an event this weekend. Well, I've only got 3 events for the Christmas season, so if I make a lot of Christmas candles, I don't know if I'll sell them, and I really don't feel like having a lot stocked on my shelf. Plus, let me take you guys to this corner. I still have some fall fragrance candles that I would like to sell. And I would much rather get rid of this entire stock before I go making a whole lot more candles. So with that said, I'm only gonna make one set of Christmas candles. And I decided on one set because one of my coworkers wanted to order several candles to give to her friends and family for Christmas. So I thought I would go ahead and make her batch, and then I'd make a couple of extra few that I can take to my event. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm gonna start by weighing out my wax, and I'm using a paraffin soy blend that I purchased from Candle Science. Since I'm only going to make a small batch, I'm going to melt this wax down using a warm water bath. And I'm going to weigh out one more pitcher of wax. And I'm going to take this over to my warm water bath. It's going to be the second one that I melt down. So while my wax is melting down, I'm going to prepare my jars, and the first thing that I do is wipe the inside, the bottom down with some isopropyl alcohol. I want to give my wicks the best possible chances of surviving and staying stuck to the bottom. Now let's set these jars to the side. And I'm going to start preparing my wicks by attaching them to these wick stickers. I feel like I was so ill prepared for the holiday season. I am just so far behind. Most of the time I would have my Christmas fragrance or holiday fragrance candles ready before fall. I was always about a season ahead, and I don't know, I guess life just happens and you just get busy or overwhelmed perhaps. But it's okay, I try not to stress over too much of that. Just keep trucking. I have this 3-wick placement device that I purchased from Candle Science, and sometimes it makes me a little bit nervous because it doesn't fit perfectly inside of this container, but it's just snug enough where I think that if I place my wicks on the bottom of these magnets, I might be able to just drop it down in there and press my wicks down, and I think they may be equally distributed in that jar. Give it a shot. And there's a magnet on this end that the wicks, like the wick stickers, or the wicks, I'm sorry, the wicks have a metal piece at the bottom, and it's a magnet so that they don't fall out. I think that worked out pretty well. So let me get these other jars wicked up, and I'll bring you guys right back when I'm finished with that. I've got all 6 of my jars wicked up, and I just checked on my wax, and it's gonna take a while for that wax to melt down. So in the meantime, I'm going to weigh out my fragrance oil. Always double check your scale. Make sure you are weighing in the right units. Even though I'm making a small batch of candles, which is 6 candles, these vessels, I'm using them as 17-ounce wax capacity. So it's still a lot of fragrance oil and a lot of wax. That's why I decided to kind of, break this production up in half, and I'm doing 3 candles at a time since they are so large. Oh yeah, we still got a ways to go. You can't see it, but there's like a big clump of wax in the bottom. Let me go bother my child downstairs. What are you doing?
Watching TV.
What are you watching?
AP Bio on Netflix.
AP Bio?
Yeah.
186 degrees, so that is perfect. So now I am going to add my fragrance oil, and I'm going to keep stirring for at least 2 minutes, and I need to pour around 165, and 2 minutes is usually how long it takes for this to cool down to 165. And I'm also going to color this candle blue. And liquid dye can be messy, so make sure you have your gloves on. 1, 2. And if you're curious on the color that you're going to get, you can get a spoon and dip it in there. See that? I'm getting nothing. That blue is so faint. I'm gonna need a lot more dye. I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting a dark blue, so in order to make it a little bit darker, I'm going to add just a few drops of black. This is my first time using this dye. I won't lie to you guys. I think I like my other candle dye better. Alright, so I'm at 165 degrees, so I can start pouring the candles now. So all 6 of my candles are poured, and since I don't have that 3-wick holder, I'm just going to wait until they cool down a little bit longer before I try to pull and tug on that wick, because this one came off, and it wasn't because my wick wasn't stuck to the bottom of the container, because it was, but the wick just disconnected from the metal piece. And it actually happened a couple times out of the same bag, so I'm really not too happy about that. I really haven't had that problem with candle science before, just that batch. So I don't know, maybe something happened in production. But I'm just gonna let those cool down a little bit, and I'm gonna go downstairs and eat dinner with my family. Well, my candles are solidifying nicely. This is so unorthodox. This is not how I normally do things, but like I said before, I'm getting a 3-wick holder. Once the wax cools down a little bit, I just got the wick and pulled it straight up, and it's able to just set in place where it's supposed to be. Also, I was able to get all of those sugar scrubs labeled. Here are my 6 candles solidified. I'm gonna grab my heat gun, set it on low, and I place the heat gun about 3 to 6 inches from the candle, and I'm going to smooth out those tops. And if you look at this glass adhesion, it's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. But if you remembered, the tops, I just let them solidify a little bit, and I stood the wicks straight up and down because I don't have a 3-wick holder.
Hugging and kissing, just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door. Lovely songs we all heard before. As they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. We're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down.
So that's going to do it for today. I know that was a really short episode of Vlogmas, but I don't know, after just working all day, I was just super exhausted, but I needed to get those scrubs labeled. I needed to get those candles made. And if you want the recipe, instructions, and the vendors that I used to create this candle, I'm gonna put that in my Patreon, and the link to my Patreon is posted in that description box below. And I also want to say thank you to all my Patreons for your support and subscribing to my Patreon. Please give me a huge thumbs up if you like this content, and please hit that subscribe and notification button so you can be notified anytime I post new content. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow for another Vlogmas. Until next time, bye guys.